Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome back to the Stink Bug Works. I have just returned from the pond, and I am doing my post-run maintenance. And one of the first things I did when I got back was to look at the videos. And guess what? None of them were in frame. They were all crap. It was just total, unabashed crap. So you're going to have to wait till next time. However, while it was fun, you didn't miss a whole lot. So let me tell you what happened. First, I ran this little gal. And she ran really good. She has a couple of issues. I had some trim issues with the radio and such, getting it set up and such. I thought I had it all worked out. But anyway, got the trim set up. I believe my center of gravity is a little too far forward. It wants to, in a really tight left turn, go into submarine mode. And I've got my speed control up here, and I'm going to move it back to the very back here, or as far back as the motor wires will allow me. I'm going to rotate this motor 180 degrees and go back as far as I can with this. And that ought to square up my center of gravity. As far as flipping, I did flip this thing once, I think, but it flipped over again so fast, I couldn't really tell if I flipped it. I think I did. This thing does not like being upside down, but I will tell you what it does like doing. And I think I'm going to get a different speed control because of that. In this little left turn, it will go into submarine mode. And in fact, Oliver at H&M says people do use these for submarines. They put little diving planes on them, and they force them to go underwater. And they become a dynamic diver. So the faster you go, the deeper you go, and then you let off and it comes up. Problem is, I'm running that little toy receiver, or a little toy transmitter, this thing. So you don't have a whole lot of distance. With this boat, you don't go out to the speed run spot and go down half a mile and then run a mile up the other way. Isn't going to happen. This thing, you got to be able to throw a rock and hit it. So it's up close and personal, but what happens with this speed control is when it loses signal, it goes to full power. So this thing goes into submarine mode, loses signal, and then goes into full power as a submarine. Now, it's watertight, and there was only like 3 drops of water in it after all the nonsense I did with it. But moving the CG back will get the nose up a little bit, and it won't be so inclined to go into submarine mode. All in all, it's a fun little boat. God, it turns on the dime. I think I got to back off the steering a little bit because I can just go in a straight line and I should be able to go in a straight line and go, not. So anyway, this thing, with some moving around of parts and replacing that with a better quality speed control, one that when it loses signal shuts off power. Okay, then there was this guy. Now, the time I did run it on camera, it ran for a while and then quit. And I thought it was, a low voltage or a temperature thing. And so, when it got back to shore, I rearmed it and it worked. Okay, fine. And so I took it out today and it ran really good. I was impressed with how smooth it ran. This is a nice hull. I mean, it's got some really sharp corners on it, so it's a good hull. It's just the durability factor may or may not be there. But back to my running, I did several fast passes, and it's like, oh, this thing's great. This thing's great. Again, I had a little too much steering in it, but I'll dial that out. And then it stops again. And of course, it stops out of casting range. I didn't bring a rescue boat, so I had to wait for the wind to blow it ashore or get it to where I could go around the other side of the pond and have it within casting range. So I got it in and brought it here into the shop, and I said, well, okay, let's see, let's troubleshoot. I plugged in the battery, turned on the radio, hit the throttle, and it went brrrr. What? And the prop's going, it says, oh, I know that. That's one phase isn't working. So because of the way this thing's built, I stripped the whole thing out. It's part of the post-run maintenance anyway, and put this on my motor analyzer, and the motor's perfectly good. It's this. This is the problem. Now, I'm going to assume, for the sake of argument, that this is an appropriate sized speed control for this setup, this prop. This is the same size speed control that's on the Mini Dom and the Ten-Shock Scored. It's a 40 amp. So my guess is it's just this one particular speed control that's foobarred. So I ordered another one just like it. These are a dime a dozen. They're $30 on eBay. So I ordered another one of these exactly like this one. And so we'll set it up and see how it goes. I'm impressed with this little boat. When it goes, it goes pretty good. So I have no complaints with this, other than the obvious. Then the white Eco Boat. I took out the wrong transmitter. I thought it ran on this transmitter, and I didn't set it up with this transmitter. I set it up with that transmitter. Okay, so I'll get that straightened out the next time. So next time, it's going to be this and this again. This time I hope to have the CG a little further aft. That'll be easy. The hardest part's going to be making a new piece of jam foam, because now the cutout for the speed control is not going to be here. It's going to be back here as far as that can go. So anyway, there you go, boys and girls. An update on today. You don't get any running videos, just running stories. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out. Oh, that ride's nice. Uh-oh.